Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In the previous video we have seen a complex concept of nested arrays. I hope after watching my previous video that complex concept would have got easy and interesting for you all. Now it's time to move on to another interesting concept of arrays, which is nothing but slicing. So in this video we will talk about slicing in Python arrays. So let's have a look at the definition. So extracting a subset of elements from the elements of the array is nothing but slicing. Oh, that definition might look complex one. I think you didn't understand. Okay, let me make it simple and clear for you. So let's take a simple example of a cube, a 3D cube. You can see that cube has three dimensions: height, width, and length. Now let's say I want to slice, or else in simple language I want a particular section of this particular cube. So what will I do? I can easily take a knife or any cutter and just cut that. So if I want the last part of this particular cube, I will straight away cut from the top in the direction and place that I want. And we have got two pieces. Now I feel that the right one is the relevant for me. So let's throw the left one out and focus on the right one. So this is what I wanted, and yes, I have got it. So this is nothing but slicing. Previously we had a three-dimensional cube which was having a huge size. But now after slicing, the size has got decreased. There might be a possibility that the dimensions can also decrease while slicing a particular multi-dimensional array. So now I hope that you guys have understood that what slicing actually means. So there are certain key points that we need to keep in mind when we are learning slicing concept. So first, the resultant array may have lesser dimensions than the original array. In that cube case, we did not reduce the dimension. Secondly, this slicing concept in Python makes it computationally fast to retrieve particular set of relevant items. Instead of using for loops, while loops, we can straight away use slicing concept and reduce the complexity. So I hope that you guys have now understood. If not, then you are free to post your suggestions or doubts in the comment section. If you like my way of teaching slicing concept, then please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Now let's have a look at the syntax of how we can use the slicing concept in Python language. So basically, you need to write the name of the variable in which the array is stored. So array name, and after that immediately you need to use the square brackets. Now inside the square brackets, you need to mention the starting index and the ending index with a colon operator in between them. So basically the starting index is nothing but the location from where you need to slice. And note that this start index is inclusive. That means whatever number you will mention over here, from that index only it will start retrieving the elements. Next, let's move on to the end index. Note that end index is exclusive. This means that whatever number you mention over here, immediately before that only the elements will be retrieved. For example, if you mention 10, then the elements which is located till the index 9 will only be retrieved. The element located at index 10 will not be retrieved. This is what the syntax of a basic array slicing is. I hope it is clear. Now let's implement this with a simple example. Now for applying the slicing concept, we obviously require an array. So I hope you know that array can be defined with the help of array library in Python. So I am quickly defining an array of integers. So the type code here is I, and then I am mentioning the list of elements that are actually going to be a part of the array. So here we have mentioned total 9 elements as a part of the array, and we have stored these elements in the variable ARR. Now let's try to print this variable ARR. So you can clearly see that the cell has executed successfully and our array has got initialized in the variable ARR. Now let's try to slice these 4 elements, the highlighted ones. Now as you know, the indices of arrays starts from 0. So the first element's index is 0, then 1, 2, and since we want to retrieve this particular elements, so the index is basically starting from 3. So hence we need to first mention the array name, which is nothing but ARR, and then inside square brackets we need to separate the two parameters with the colon operator, and then we need to mention the starting index and the ending index. So basically the starting index here is 3. Note that 3 is inclusive and we want that element located at 3 position to be a part of the slice. And next we need to mention the ending index, which is 6. So you can see that if I mention the location 6, only 3 elements are getting retrieved. Why? Because as I said that the ending index is always exclusive, so always try to add 1 to it and then mention the stop index. So hence we will add 1 to 6 and then we will write 7 there. So you can clearly see that we have now successfully retrieved the 4 elements. Now let's say we need to retrieve the last 2 elements. So by the index concept, the position of the second last element is 7. So we will mention 7 over here because we want that element located at 7th position to be a part of the slice. And then we will write a colon operator and then we will mention the next element's position plus 1, which is nothing but 8 plus 1, which is 9. So hence we have successfully retrieved the last 2 elements. Now there is one more important rule regarding the slicing concept, is that if you don't mention the stop index, which is nothing but after the colon operator, then whatever elements are present inside the array after the starting index, all of them will get retrieved. So here you can see I have mentioned 7 colon. This will retrieve all the elements starting from 7th index till the end of the array. Now let's say we need to retrieve the first 2 elements. So as you know, index starts from 0. So we will retrieve the elements at position 0 and 1. So we will not mention the starting index and we will only mention the ending index, which is nothing but 1, and we will add 1 to it, which is nothing but 2. So hence array of colon till 2. So this will retrieve all the elements till the first position. Next, if I mention the name of the array with the colon operator inside the square bracket without mentioning the starting and stopping index, then it will by default retrieve all the elements inside the array. These are certain rules that you have to keep in mind. So now I am sure that all these rules which are regarding the starting index and the ending index are very much clear to you all. Now let's move on to a new topic inside the slicing, which is nothing but negative indexing. So let's try to access the last element inside the array. Now what if you have a very big array and you don't know that what is the location of the last element inside the array. So in such scenarios, retrieving the last element would be a hectic task for you all. So for that, negative indexing comes into picture. So if we mention the array name and inside the square brackets we mention -1, then by default it will retrieve the last element of the array. It will start slicing from right to left. So hence if we mention array of -1 colon -3. Now see, -1 is what? It is the last element and -3 is the third last element. We have mentioned the starting index as the last element and the ending index as the third last element. It won't be possible for the array to move backward. So therefore an empty array is printed over here in this case. So always remember that whenever you are mentioning the negative indexing, always try to give the numberings in a proper order from left to right. Hence, if we mention -3 to -1, then it will retrieve the element from the third last position till the last position. But note that the last position will be exclusive. So hence, only the third last and the second last element will be retrieved. Now it's time for you to solve this exercise. I hope the concept was clear and it was interesting for you all. So the exercise says that here an array is mentioned. It's a huge array, and by using this particular array you need to answer the following questions. So first is slice element from index 5 to 10. Note that it is mentioned to retrieve the element at index 10 also. Hence, you need to mention the exclusive element as 11. Next, you need to slice the elements from index 10 onwards. So in that case, you need to use the concept of only colon without mentioning the stop index. Next, you need to slice the elements 2933 and 1574 using negative indexing. So try to use the negative indexing concept which starts from the last element. Next, you need to slice the element 4971. So here you need to slice a single element. It's the easiest one of all of them. So these are the 4 questions that you have to solve. I'm pretty sure that if you solve these 4 questions, great practice will be done on this particular topic. So try to solve this and post your answers in the comment section, or you can just create a GitHub link in which you upload your IPYNB notebook and you can paste the link in the comment section. This was the first part of slicing in arrays. Stay tuned for the second part that will be much more interesting than this. Till then, like, share and subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram.